Everyone, wanted to do a little live broadcast on Friday, the weekend. Welcome. We'll let a couple people jump on here. How's it going? How's everyone doing? It is almost the weekend. Well, technically, it's on its way to being the weekend, right? It's Friday. I wanted to jump on and do a little bit of a live video across a couple platforms. I think we're actually on our Facebook channel, our YouTube channel, and if everything works, also on Instagram. So for those of you who are waiting for the weekend to finally happen, welcome. Let me know where you are hanging out this weekend. I want to tell you a couple things that's coming up this weekend, especially for those of you that have followed on the happenings. It's been kind of a crazy week, crazy 2 weeks with Elder Holland and a lot of the things that are happening in LGBTQ Mormondom. Also, the many podcasts that we've put together based on this whole kind of BYU debacle and some of the topics that have been surrounding the LGBTQ issues. So that's been going on, and also the BYU Pride Rally. Wanted to talk a little bit about that. It's coming up as well. So, hello. Looks like a bunch of you have jumped on between Facebook and YouTube. Let me know where you are listening or watching from. It's always kind of exciting and cool to see where people are tuning in from. Oh, I also want to talk a little bit about umbrellas too, because we have lots to talk about with umbrellas. So first, yes, it is the weekend, and I'm excited. We are going to be doing a broadcast. This kind of also was a test and trial run. We got a little bit, we upgraded some podcast equipment, some live stream equipment. So we're doing a trial run because tomorrow, just next to the BYU campus in Provo, we will be doing a broadcast of the BYU Back to School Rally. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with what's going on tomorrow at the Kiwanis Park in Provo, we will be attending the BYU Back to School Rally March. A couple months ago, probably 2 months ago-ish, there was another rally that the Rainbow Collective BYU Pride put together in Provo. This is going to be in the same exact spot, but the rally will start at Kiwanis Park and go around in that area, and then everyone will come back into the park. There are some booths that will be set up, and then a line of speakers. So I want to talk a little bit about that, but also this broadcast was a chance to be able to test out some new equipment. So if you are watching, let us know if everything is coming through fine. I think the picture's good, and sound as well, which is kind of something that wanted to talk about. Hey, Joe. Joe's from Connecticut, and Calder from Colorado, and Rexburg. Rexburg, well, represent. We're doing a lot up in Rexburg, Idaho, with Flourish. I did see on, I think on Facebook that Flourish is trying to open up a center closer to the BYU Idaho campus, and they are looking for donations to help them make that work. And I would encourage you to support Flourish as they minister and help to support the LGBTQ community, especially within the heart of the Lion's Den there at BYU Idaho. So you can check them out on their Facebook page. I did see that, and I made a donation to Flourish as well to help them build a community center for the LGBTQ community within the Rexburg area. Perfect. Yeah, just saying that they're halfway there. Oh, and Ephraim. Ephraim's a great place. I went to school at Snow College. So again, wanted to hello to everyone. Again, I do appreciate and like to see where people are listening or watching from. We will, just to reiterate again, for those of you just joining us, we will be in Provo tomorrow with the Latter-day Stories podcast. We will be broadcasting the BYU Back to School Pride Rally March event that will be happening in Provo at the Kiwanis Park. It's the one right next to the BYU campus. We do have a Facebook event on our Latter-day Stories Facebook page. If you just click on the events tab, you will be able to then get all the details there. You can also just check that you're going, and that'll alert you with the additional information, and then you can easily pull that up with your phone if you are driving in or out. There are a number of speakers. I don't have them off the top of my head. There's about 10 speakers and music, and food trucks will be there. The park is wide open and big, so bring your blankets and lawn chairs and kind of hang out. We will be broadcasting the speaker and some music portion of that. So if you are out of state and not able to make it, we will definitely provide that for you, given that all the ducks line up and everything works, but live broadcasts are always fun. With that, I also wanted to talk a little bit about the Rainbow Umbrella Initiative. I should have grabbed one. In fact, let me just grab one real fast because I have one. I've got them all over the place, to be honest. I'm gonna grab a couple here. So, yeah, you got those. We last year, if you guys remember, Color the Campus, Color the Campus, Bradley Talbot, who also will be speaking at the rally coming up this weekend. Just some of those guys and girls and students at BYU who have to go through just the garbage with people who aren't favorable to the LGBTQ community. Found another group of people in BYU at BYU's campus that wasn't happy that there were rainbows and LGBTQ people at the Lord's University. And so they created a little bit of an initiative to say, so they were doing a Color the Campus event and essentially just said, wear your rainbow gear to campus on this day, just to be visible and to see other supporters who are on the BYU campus. There was another group who also posted flyers around the university saying that the easiest and best way to shelter themselves from the rainbow storm was to carry an umbrella in solidarity for those who weren't as favorable to the LGBTQ community. And so I essentially said game on, and if that was how we were going to play, I ordered thousands of these rainbow umbrellas and donated them to the BYU campus, BYU schools. And so that's how the Rainbow Umbrella Initiative started. We did not only the rainbow umbrellas, but we also did the trans-color umbrellas. I don't have the trans-color one in front of me, but because you guys, the Latter-day Stories audience, wanted to pitch in as well, I donated a bunch of these to the school, ended up ordering a whole bunch more because the people were interested. So not only on the campuses are we seeing the umbrellas show up, but these packages here, they are being sent out. I wish I could show you how many I have here, but there's probably, I don't know, Jay and my kids have been wrapping these things to get them out. I bet there's probably 75 or 100 ready to go out again in the next couple days. So we will have umbrellas at tomorrow's event. So if you do want to come down and pick them up. So here's the deal. What we do is if you buy an umbrella, then we're going to donate an umbrella to another BYU student organization. And we have a couple hundred more of those that will be donated thanks to many of you who have purchased. And it's exciting. It's exciting because yesterday I was at the Neon Trees concert at the Gallivan Center Plaza in downtown Salt Lake. And people were standing out in the line with the Latter-day Stories rainbow and trans umbrellas. So it was really cool to see that, to be able to see just random people who have picked up umbrellas over the last few weeks who are out in the public wearing them and are having them. So definitely want to say thank you to those many, many, many people who have been supporters of the Umbrella Initiative. It really just started out as a way to show solidarity with the BYU students and let them know that they weren't alone, they obviously weren't broken, and that there was a whole community of people out here to support them. So for those of you that continue to support the Rainbow Umbrella Initiative, props to you. You have a special place in my heart because I know what it's like to be closeted and to be in those situations where you feel ultimately alone. But I think if an umbrella helps someone feel like they have a connection, then it was 100% worth it. So for those of you that continue to do that, I am thankful. Okay, yeah, let me just jump into the comments here real fast because I do have, again, post a bunch of comments. Yeah, I do want to talk about the rainbow chalk as well because that's a big topic. So, okay, Anna, we're just going to jump in. I can throw a couple of these comments up on the screen. So for those of you who are following along, and the cool part about, well, and sometimes the unfortunate part is if you are on our YouTube channel, our Facebook friends can't see your comments. So this is a fun little system to do that. But Anna, I've been thinking about going early and coloring the sidewalk. in front of the DC Temple. That's really cool. Do that in solidarity. And for those of you who who are unaware of what's happening at the BYU campus lately, for a number of days now, there have been people that have been writing affirming messages in chalk on the sidewalks in front of the BYU campus or in the Provo area, and that has been it's been met with a lot of tears and a lot of happiness, and also for those of you who follow Utah news, brought out some haters as well. There was one young man who took some water and poured it all over. I'm sure you've seen the viral TikTok videos um, that now BYU is investigating, and I've heard that it's also being investigated as a hate crime. But unfortunately, a BYU student there had some pretty awful things to say about the LGBTQ community as he was hosing down the chalk art. I also read an article this morning saying that BYU, on the areas that of the sidewalks that they own or purportedly own, they've been washing those off every morning at 4 a.m. So that's happening at Provo, but what do you do? Like you just, for all of us, we just keeping on. Just a couple comments here. Not Mormon, but I'm Protestant. Support you guys from Michigan. Yes, I know Michigan well. I served my mission in Michigan, my mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Michigan. Grayson just asking if do I mind if I share if he shares the link for the Flourish Point House? Absolutely not. Share it, and if you will add it to the comments, Grayson, I will pin it so people know that the Flourish Point House in Rexburg should happen. I'm a complete supporter of that. James from Ogden, I got to send James, your umbrellas are in this pile, so I know that that's coming up there. Lots of love for the umbrellas. Okay, couple questions here. How can we support the gay community better? I think this is a really, really great question, and it's really hard to answer because running a platform that essentially puts this topic in front of people on a daily basis, it's interesting because I think we run into so many different camps. We run into, like, just today with we post a meme every Friday and every Monday, and the memes that we post on our Facebook page and the Instagram page are really meant to spark conversation and to allow people to not only kind of filter and process the pain that surrounds this topic, but also I think maybe it's multifaceted, but it also allows us to have an open conversation about a topic that really means something to us. I hope that at some point, some people who aren't favorable to this community or who don't fully understand it can read and better understand those experiences and messages from the LGBTQ community. But again, like, we've got another meme up today that's essentially hit its own little viral point, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments on it where people are just discussing whether or not being gay is a sin, and something 20 years ago within Mormondom, where the church hadn't come out with a real delinear or line in the sand discussion about this topic, where for so much of Mormon history, the church said just being gay was a sin, not what they say today is like acting on it. So the meme today was an opportunity to open up that conversation, and it's interesting how people try to understand those things and want to twist some of those archaic and old teachings to fit their prejudice. And so the original question, like, how do we help the LGBTQ community? I think there's a number of ways of doing that. And in terms of the transgender community, one thing that I learned from my friend Nika Allgood was just believe the transgender community and believe their stories and support them. The same for the the LGB community. I always, when someone says like they chose their sexuality, they chose to be this way, it's always fascinating to me because who would choose this? Like, who would want the community members to alienate you, your own faith community to alienate you, your church to say that your love is counterfeit, your families to disregard you, to ask you not to show up to their home, to not bring your partner, to not take you out in public, to not allow you to be a lengthy house guest. Those are all things that are painful. And so when it comes to support, I think the answer to that is um, sometimes I just don't want to be treated like I'm the gay one. I just want to be treated like I'm your friend and treated like I'm just as relatable and as common as a person who doesn't share my same sexuality. Sometimes for me, and I hope for others, that is one of the greatest ways um, by not recognizing or not trying to point out our differences, but essentially share in all the things that we have in common. Um, but there are a number of other ways, like when we see like bigotry and prejudice and homophobia. I think those are important to call those out and to also make a stand. I know there's a lot of discussion in the latter day world about how far do we go to honor and sustain our leaders when we know leaders are saying things that are inaccurate or unkind or unjustifiable or unchristlike towards the LGBTQ community. And I think the answer to that is that's an individual situation, whether or not you raise your right arm to the sustaining square for those leaders or not. I hope that you know that there should be a separation between the person and the policy. That I every day of the week will side with the person over a policy, and that's essentially my avenue and advocacy is sharing the individual experiences of the LGBTQ community. People, like it's not even just the label of a community, but I just want to support people, and I want people to know that that they're good and that they have a future and an opportunity. All right, John says, "Bravo, former Mormon, served a mission, temple marriage, and now happily married to the man of my dreams, and also happily excommunicated." Well, you escaped with all the great things. Congratulations, John. Um, yes, yes. So a couple of comments about my shirt. This is my. I should stand it just a little bit so you can see it. You see it? There we go. This is my Love No Musket T-shirt, and one of these days I'll have enough to throw them on the Latter Day Stories merch side, and we'll sell a few of them. But yeah, I will. We just got these in the mail. They are kind of a cool, shiny, fun rainbow shirt that lets people know that we are far more interested in love and less interested in muskets. Yeah, you want to see it again. So this was an old Nazi era artist who painted the portrait. It's Christ busting a gun, um, and it was happening all around Nazi Germany time. So putting that in context with what happened 2 weeks ago at BYU, and where Elder Holland said that we need more musket fire in terms of dealing with some of the LGBTQ issues on the BYU campus. I thought that was appropriate. So I also do have to give a shout out to a couple of friends who shared this photo at the same time that I had sent it over to my printer. So I'm going to shoot them a couple copies of the t-shirt. All right, so yeah, I did want to talk about, for those of you that were just jumping on as well, I didn't really want this to, or intend on this to go forever, but we will be broadcasting live tomorrow at the BYU campus. There is a BYU rally that's taking place that will be beginning at 3:00 p.m. tomorrow at the Kiwanis Park, the one right next to BYU, like 1100 East or 9th East, 1100 North. I have the address, the exact address, in a Facebook event on the Latter Gay Stories Facebook page. So you can log on to our Latter Gay Stories Facebook page, click on the event tab, and it has all the event info there. I also have a lineup of all the speakers that will be there. The march begins at 3:00. The event starts at 4. The speaker and the music event starts at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, and then that goes until about 7:00. So it should be great weather, awesome crowd, like super great turnout. Last time there were about 500, 700 people that were at the last one. I would imagine we're going to have a couple thousand this time, given the kind of hot button topics that have been happening at BYU. I just know that people are very interested in assembling together and showing their support to the LGBTQ community. So for those of you that aren't going to be able to make it to Provo, we will be broadcasting that here on the Latter Gay Stories Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel. So you can click on either one of those and follow the live stream. And I think we just really set it up and make it pretty simple and easy. Just watch and participate that way. We will have another big batch of umbrellas that we are giving away to the Rainbow Collective, the BYU Pride group. So we'll have umbrellas for the march tomorrow. I'll bring those with me. And then also for those of you who don't have any rainbow umbrellas and maybe want to buy one, I'll have them available for sale at the Latter Gay Stories booth there at the BYU Pride tomorrow. They're $10. You can also, and maybe I'll throw that in the link as well. You can purchase them online, and we can send them out to you if you aren't going to be in the Provo area. Yeah, they're $10. If you buy one, we'll donate one to a BYU student organization. And for those of you, some are asking if you just can make a contribution to the umbrella initiative, and that's super cool as well. Our Venmo is at Latter Gay Stories, and you can send your donation in that way. Or many of you have chosen to do a monthly donation, which we super love because there are a lot of great things that we're doing with the podcast, and especially with these student organizations and other LGBT groups to share the message, to be affirming, to be in the community, to be visible. All those things are where we put those donations to use. I do this out of, it's like the true Mormon, like the benefits of what happens at Latter Gay Stories are out of this world. There's an eternal nature. I don't do this for a living. I have a job that takes a fair amount of my time, but this is super important to me, and this is something that I'm passionate about. Not only because if I would have had something like a Latter Gay Stories when I was growing up, my life would have taken a completely different turn. Not that life was terrible, but knowing that there were a group of people out there, a community that would support me, and friends and family out there who could positively affirm who and what I was would have meant the world. So I run everything on the Latter Gay Stories side for that purpose, to help. Again, I've said it over and over again, to help people not feel alone, to feel that there's no reason to feel broken, and that their best days are ahead. And so for those of you who do choose to help support that, I think it also invests each of us into a team. And I think when we all have an opportunity to feel like we are correlated and that we have a stake in the game, that we do better, and that we aim a little higher, and that we try to do things more efficiently and effective. And so those many of you who have supported the podcast, you are the game changers. You are the resources. I often, going out to these events, run into parents who struggle to know where, not only within the church, but within the community, they can find resources and find the tools that help them to be better parents, or to help their kids thrive in this world. And at the end of the day, there are no great manuals, there are no wonderful exclusive resources out there, but we have you, and we have a community of other people who are willing to bond together and to help move this work forward. Those are the resources. You are the resources. I think podcasts and resource centers like Latter Gay Stories really are, the design behind them is just to unite people, and in a common and collective good, we're able to do some monumentally good things. So yeah, I'm just throwing a couple of these comments up here. Anyway, so yeah, that's happening tomorrow. Please join us. If you can't join us, jump on the live stream, even for a few minutes, and let us know where you're at, what you're doing. Also, the Umbrella Initiative, I did want to make a big shout out to the Utah State Board of Education, who finally reprimanded Natalie Klein. For those of you interested in Utah politics, she's a member of the Utah School Board. I wish they could do more to her, but she's been one of those interesting people who has a very difficult problem with the LGBTQ community, especially within our higher and elementary, secondary ed programs. As a state school board representative, she's been quite vocal about her disdain for the LGBTQ community, and that influence has caused a fair amount of musket fire in the community. But today, the state school board did reprimand her, and I think that was a positive step forward. So I was excited to read that, and excited to see that other people inside the community, and especially within the Utah State School Board, were willing to stand up for the LGBTQ community. And I know that we're not out of the woods with pending legislation discussion, not only at the state school board level, but local school board levels, which I think is super important for us to share our stories and our experiences, especially with our youth, especially for those of you who are parents of LGBTQ kids, who understand the risks and the pain associated with sending your children into an area into schools that are non-affirming. I mean, frankly, schools that are and not only the students at these schools, but also often administration who become bullies and frustrate the very purpose for education, and that is to be there to learn and to create friendship and community, and exercise the extracurricular activities and the opportunities to share in those experiences. Those are the important parts of education, not limiting and tying the hands of our faculty, our staff, not only at a elementary, secondary, or higher education level, um, but really within the broader educational community as well. So that'll be an interesting thing, and I'm quite certain that's not a topic that is unfamiliar to you who are outside of the Beehive, outside of Utah. You likely are probably going through some of the same things with your school boards outside of Utah. Anyway, so again, I just wanted to say thank you to you all, and have a great and happy Friday and a great weekend. For those of you who are asking about umbrellas, I will post a link in this in just a second. This will post back up on the Facebook and YouTube channels. You can go to our website, lattergaystories.org, and click on if you just slide down on the homepage, you'll see a link there that will take you to the umbrella order page if you want to order your umbrellas. If you want to make a donation to the Umbrella Fund, we're Venmo friendly, so you can do that at Latter Gay Stories on Venmo. There also is a link there if you want to make a one-time or monthly donation via PayPal, or just your normal credit card. That link is at the very bottom of our website, lattergaystories.org. All right. Yeah, hey, Portugal, lots of thank yous. No, you, again, I have a microphone, but I want your voices to be the voices that come through that microphone. And the Latter Gay Stories podcast is a platform to share your stories. And the combined efforts of so many of you has really proven to be valuable in this community. And so I thank you. I thank each of you for your willingness to step up to the plate and to take some of the musket fire, and to be able to stand as a shield, a little bit of armor against your friends and family. When it comes to this topic, so many people just outside of our community just don't understand it, and they don't understand why it is that we're always on defense, and why it is that we always feel like we have to run around with armor on. But if you look around, if you read the comment section of any of these polarizing posts or news stories, you see why this is an important topic, and you see why there has to be sentinels who stand guard to protect the vulnerable in our community, and to protect even those who do not seem vulnerable but really are. Again, I could go on for hours about stories and experiences of people that I've met along the trail that have heartbreaking, just heart-wrenching stories. The podcast is here for you, for those people, for all of us to be able to better understand this experience. So thank you again for all those that have jumped on. It was good to see you, good to say hello. I wish I could have hit everybody's, because I see so many people in the chat that I know and I love. So I would love to meet you in person, if you even for a fist bump or a hug. So if you are going to be around, I do welcome and invite you to come join us in Provo tomorrow. at the BYU Pride Rally in March that will be happening at the Kiwanis Park. Again, hit our Facebook page, click on the event tab, and you'll have all the information for that. Bring your umbrella, bring your gear. Bring everything rainbow and colorful possible. There will be a little bit of a march that happens for about an hour, beginning at 3:00 p.m. at Kiwanis Park next to BYU's campus. That'll last an hour, and then the speakers will, and the event starts at 4:00 p.m. at the same park you'll kind of march back to. So I'll be there. I'll have some umbrellas. I will have, I'll probably wear my t-shirt. So we'll get it washed again. And again, I just want to see you. I want to say hello, give you a fist bump, give you a hug, get to know and better understand your story and experience. But most importantly, have everyone there to, in a show of solidarity that the LGBTQ community is vibrant, is well, is happy, and is ready to continue sharing the stories and experiences of the LGBTQ community. All right. Again, thank you. I love you. I appreciate everything that you do. And I want to continue helping you to share your stories and helping you to find happiness, not only within your community, but within your family, and most importantly, within yourself. Again, thank you to those who are supporting the Latter Day Stories podcast, that share our content, that listen to our episodes. It's because of you who do that, that it allows us to broadcast this message in channels that you are completely unfamiliar with. I wish so many of you could see the number of messages that I get from all around the world, people in or out of Mormonism, or people who have no direct tie to Mormonism, that resonates well with this message. It is your stories change people, and your stories make a difference, and I thank you for those. So tomorrow it is. I can't wait to see you and to hug you and say hello and be with you again in person, and look forward to that tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good weekend. For those that won't join us in person, please jump online and watch us on the live stream, and we'll be watching out for you. All right. Have a good weekend, everybody.